live on YouTube. We about to be live on IG. Oh, we live on Facebook. There we go.
Period.
And we live on IG. Okay. The show has no. We're going on Facebook. All right, now the show started. What's saying what feel like? What's saying what feel like? What's saying what feel like? Man, I could just start with the music and get the show on the way. And then we're gonna go crazy.
Hmm. Shout out to Slimy.
This your mother spun. This is your fight. Please under the five ahead with the green. And we did both.
We need a new intro. So you gotta hit this man up, let's show you. You gotta hit this man up and
Oh,
say we need a with the green intro, man, you know?
he said he would do one for me because remember he did a tag for me when I said shout out to Slimy and he put it on one of his new things.
Man, tell Slimy we need something slimy. You know what I mean? Something dope.
Oh.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I mean?
love
Something
that
that we
man's
could pour on
work.
that heck. Yeah, man. How y'all doing?
Shout out to
Good night. Good
Slimy.
evening. How y'all doing?
Good night, everybody.
I'm
Back with
asking,
another
I
one.
asking y'all too. I asking the ladies in the video with me. How are y'all doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. We had a great productive week. It was wonderful. We mashed a lot of work and we had a lot of good times.
Amen.
How
Chloe,
your
how,
week
how are
been,
you?
Chloe?
I am good. Just work. Can't
That's
get
good. I
enough
know
of
that's
it.
right.
Nah, you ain't lame, son. I tired of this shit.
Can't get enough of it. I swear, I'm ready to
You
get out of
tired of
this.
this shit?
Yeah, I tired of
Tired
this
of punching
shit.
into somebody else's shift. I'm ready to do my own thing again. I
That's what
can't.
he's saying. I'm tired of this,
I wasn't
grandpa.
there. I
That's
wasn't there
too
when they
damn bad.
voted for women's rights to
Period.
vote. I was not present. I didn't vote for it.
Nah, they vote for
Oh,
you.
I didn't vote for it.
They
I didn't
vote
vote
for
for it.
you. They vote for
I
all
never
women.
signed up for that. Mm-mm,
I
you
did
can't
not
speak
sign
for
up
me.
for it.
Nah, they
I
vote
did
for
I
not sign
never
all
up for
signed
it.
up.
women. They vote for all women and womankind, you know, for the futures
Yeah,
of the women, you know what I'm saying?
that
But
wasn't fair.
nah, that was the best thing they ever do.
No,
So,
it's no sir.
so
Rosalia.
let me intro the show. Let me do my best breezy impersonation. You know what? I'm not gonna do my breezy impersonation. I'm gonna do my own impersonation of myself, you know? This your boy,
Okay.
you know, Danny don't know what going on. That's what the Green Podcast, Wednesday live. You know how we to do it. To the left of
Hmm.
me, or the top of me, or wherever you see on your screen, it is Mora the Goat. We are saying what feel like LA. I don't
Feeling
find
great.
LA in the building, everybody. I don't find LA in the building. We're gonna retire Mora the Goat by Carnival. By Carnival, we're gonna get
By
rid of that.
carnival.
We're gonna gotta start something different. We can't have people run up to you screaming murder. We gotta
Hey,
think about
but
the
what's crazy?
sponsors.
No. But what's crazy is when you come here to where I live and you run into my friends. That's what they just call me. They be like, "Hey, murder, what's up?" And then that's yeah. So
Murder,
that's
like MUDADER.
MURDA. So when you see
MUR.
me in a real life, people
Okay.
gonna say, "Murder, what's up?" So I mean, that's gonna it is
We
what it
gotta, we
is.
gotta, we gotta,
Murder.
we
I
gotta
like
tell them that
that.
you're making a shift. You know what I mean? Tell them you're making a shift for the betterment. You know what I mean? Like you gotta make a shift. We all gotta evolve.
Um,
You know?
I
Um,
like that.
you
I
like the
like that.
evolving. You like murder.
I like murder.
I like
See,
murder.
I like
woman is
murder.
just problems,
I'ma always
man.
call you murder. I like murder.
Thank you. I was like, I mean, it is. I
Okay.
had trip man up with that all the time. They'd be like, I'd be like, yeah. And they're like, you try and scare me away? I'd be like, I never tell you to come in the first place. So
Period.
Is this a woman of our 2026 generation? Everybody give it up for that one time, for the one time. But anyways, to my right, to the bottom, or wherever you see her on your screen, we have the one, the only. I call her Cece, but give it up for Chloe. What you saying, Chloe?
Hi.
Oh my god,
Happy hump
applause.
day, y'all.
Hold on. These my song Dre, man. Like
happy
you like
hump
they
day.
like they don't want to clap
Happy
for the
hump
count for
day.
happy hump day. Happy hump day. How you feeling?
I good. Like I said, just a little tired, but we getting through it. It's Wednesday, midweek, almost Friday.
I know
We
that's
almost
real.
there. Almost
You,
April. We almost there.
you know
April's
how
my
much
birthday month. Hey,
Oh, happy
period.
early birthday.
Yeah, like yeah.
what your saying is again?
I'm an Aries, big fire sign, big
She
ram.
fire sign.
Period.
She a fire
Okay,
sign.
okay, okay. You know, I was gonna say if they just change Wednesdays to the new Fridays, like just make like Wednesday to Friday. Like the end of the
Make
week is
Wednesday to
Wednesday.
Friday.
Oh my god, everything would just be so much better in life. Like you wouldn't have no more wars.
That.
Wars.
You wouldn't have no more like wall hunger. Like if everybody only work until Wednesday, we gotta
Do you know how
repopulate the
much we would
earth.
have to get paid?
That's fine.
Pay
Pay
more.
us. Pay us.
Way more.
Cause with all our free time, we could not create new opportunities, new businesses, make more kids because the world need more kids.
Make more
Like
kids. Me never say that.
Well, I think the world should run 24 hours. I don't
You
know if
took it
I'm
left. I was with you. I was with you.
until you guys can make more kids. But the
I
world should
tell
run
the
24
kids,
hours.
I was with you the whole way. True.
man, nothing wrong with the kids, man. But
And
anyways,
then yeah.
anyways, so we had a crazy, crazy week. A crazy last couple of days. Me, LaShoy, the team. Like we had a really crazy trip. We was in Atlanta. Um, how was that experience for you in Atlanta? Let's show it with the team.
Oh my God, it's always a good time. It was Keela's first time in Atlanta with us doing a trip. So shout out to Keela B, the princess. That was nice. Her and Cass, that was the first time they got to really link up together. So that was really a beautiful moment.
It's a lot
And I
of first
love
times,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it was so good. Like it's a lot of first times for true because every each of one of us was together for the first time. Because we always end up doing things sometimes separate or, so
So
it's
Chloe,
nice.
Chloe wasn't on this trip, right? But I'll break it down to Chloe. Chloe, we normally
Yeah.
travel to different states, and somebody will meet us in that state, right? Kela gonna meet us in Miami, right? Cass gonna meet us in Atlanta. Like it don't ever be all of us together for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason. By the work of God, everybody came together on this trip, and it was crazy. Like
I wonder if
we
everybody gonna be in St. Thomas.
no,
No? Okay.
No.
no.
You
Everybody
see
not
why
gonna
he's
be in
saying
that.
it was a once in a million?
So that's why it's all we've been traveling for like a year. And like this the
Mm.
first time in a year that we actually get to
Yeah.
be around everybody. That's actually kind of crazy. We should probably
Oh
coordinate
wow.
a little better to make that happen, right? So it was definitely crazy. Kila first time in the studio doing an episode. We have some good episodes dropping. We have some crazy. We're all calling a name. Let's show you. Which one you think is the craziest episode? We're all calling a name. You could say his or
Mm.
her, but you can't say the person name. Which one you think was the craziest episode?
The sweetness.
No, man.
The
You
sweetness.
No,
smiled when
man.
she said sweetness, so it must have been you blushed, smiled, turned
Nah, I got
red.
chill
Mm.
out. I got chill out. It was too much sugar. It was too much sugar in the room. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's the first one I'm gonna drop to.
Perfect.
Man, that's a crazy episode. Chloe, when you see that shit, oh
Da,
my
da, da,
god.
da, 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 da.
All right. So yeah, that's what you think was the craziest one? Yeah, that was the
Hey, I ain't,
craziest one.
that
That
was
was
the
the craziest
craziest
one.
one for true.
I think that was the craziest one for sure.
The
Yeah, hands
funniest
down.
one was uh 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 uh.
Think so?
Yeah.
That's a
Mm,
guy.
hmm
I don't know.
You don't know. I mean, I think he
It
is a guy.
it has some
Is that
laughs.
an
It has some
artist?
laughs in it.
He is an artist.
Oh, I think I know who
Yeah,
you're talking about just from the dance.
Mm-hmm.
that's
I
Yeah.
crazy.
think,
And that's an
yeah.
original,
That's crazy.
I think I know who you're talking about. And if so, that had to be the funniest and the latest for real.
Mm.
If you're
Like,
clicking with the
Hey,
option,
oh, what wrong with you, though, man? Your ass like you in the details of no man, but that was a good episode. Though. That one definitely was funny. A good jokes. But all the episode good. We interviewed some artists. We had some really good conversations, some really good people. I can't wait for her to see it, man. This shit gonna be crazy.
it's gonna be
Um,
great.
the studio time too was crazy because I was Killer first time in the studio, and like people don't. That's the thing about the studio for anybody that want to know, right? This the set that we have in Miami is a lot smaller, a lot more intimate. The one with Fadi is really only four of us in the room. Like that's really it, right? But the studio in Atlanta is bigger. We could have an audience in there, so it'd be about 8 people in there at once sometimes,
Yeah.
right? So four of us at the table, four, five, 6 people in the back behind. We watching,
With
literally
nice
just
little sit
watching,
down
laughing,
area.
mm-hmm.
It's the
vibing.
audience area.
So the vibe does already be different over there. So if it's your first time in there, you're gonna probably get caught off guard 'cause you don't seem that way, boy, and they be lit for real. And
Yes.
we always have a good time in Atlanta. That's why I vouch for Atlanta all the time because I already know what we're gonna get into when we get to Atlanta. You feel me? Um, outside of that, we also did some different stuff. We went to the gathering spot. Ooh,
Oh, that was nice.
Y'all went to
yes.
where?
So got the gathering spot. It's a black owned country club.
Oh,
Is it has three locations in Atlanta, one in DC, and I think one
my
in
type of
LA.
party.
So actually, the person who is my cousin, shout out to TK Peterson, one thing.
Shout out to TK. TK, thank you so
TK,
much.
TK, TK, shout out to TK, man. So the cool thing about it is he's from the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
And I think they started it when Mike Floyd had get murdered or whatever that called.
Mhm.
I don't want to say that well
Mhm.
bad word on TV. Don't say that on the internet. So
We
whenever
still say
that
it a lot.
happened to Mike Floyd, get on alive, they
Mhm.
created a place
Mhm.
for blacks to come together, right? I don't want to say exclusively, but in a sense exclusively.
Mhm.
And they found a way to make bread offer, get sponsorships, and get big names in there. And it grew into where it grew into. And we get to experience it. And it was insane. The food was insane. The
Oh
vibes
my
were
God.
insane. That's where the
Yes.
pictures come from. Like, we had a view. Like, we was lost when we walking at first. We were just like, are we supposed to go? Like, we sit ourselves. Like, what's going on in here? Like, got some women. I think with AKAs, they were playing this domino game thing. Like, it was very sophisticated. And I was like, this is
So
nice.
it's a country club.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
wonder, is it that
Very
country club in
beautiful.
Atlanta to where they have like a big conference every year?
I don't know. Are you familiar with the Interlock?
No.
It's over
Okay.
there in that area, so it might be a different one, but it
So they
was
have two of them. They
beautiful.
have two of them in around the area. 'Cause they have the gathering spot and they have retreat by the gathering spot.
Hmm.
Right.
Okay.
So we went to the retreat by the gathering spot, which is on the top floor. Hey man, just saying I
I
feel like
like stuff
money.
like that. I have to go. That's my type of
Yeah.
crowd. That's my type of party. I like to be around those type of people.
And it's
It make
I
you
know
just
that's
crazy.
do
right.
this. It make you be like, hello.
Yeah. No,
Like
that
just
us.
hi.
They had so that
And
night they
everybody
had
did a great job how they dressed.
oh
Everybody
yeah.
was dressed to impress. The pictures came out beautiful. We was able to get a lot of content in, and it was great. That's exactly what I had
Mhm.
wanted. Yeah.
What you think dressed the best out of everybody in there?
In
You
the
know
pictures,
what?
Yeah.
I want to give it for the
I like
guys.
It's
I
only
want to
me and
give it
Chris.
to
We cannot
Rain.
do that. I said Mike Floyd. What the fuck wrong with George Floyd? I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, I
It's
honestly I was
it's been
thinking
a
to myself,
long
that's the
week.
yeah, I
wrong
was gonna
name.
correct you, but
It's
I
been
was
a
thinking to
long
myself, that's the
week.
wrong name, but I was like, I
Sorry,
don't think it was
sorry,
Mike. I almost
George
said Mike, but I was
Floyd.
like,
I'm
I don't think it's
sorry.
Mike.
I was thinking Mike Brown. That ain't his name. That's one of them. Mike
yeah,
Brown.
Mike Brown is
Okay,
George,
cool. It happens so often
apologies.
that I mixing them up. I'm sorry. I apologize.
yeah.
Thank you for the save. I appreciate you. But continue.
Apologies.
For the girls who you think dress the best. You can't put me and
I
Chris against
think
each other, man.
okay, well, I mean, the both of you had a really good outfit, but if I had
We
to give
both
it to
did
the
our
guys,
thing.
I would give it to Rain. Like on the more like fancier level, I would give it to Rain. On like a
Chill vibe.
more chill but
I'm going to look at the
still
picture right
bougie,
now.
I would give it to Chris. Um,
Yeah.
when it
Ex-
comes to like the sexier girl outfit,
Okay.
I would give that to Cass because she had the legs out in the mini skirt and I was cute with the boots.
Yeah, that was
And
really
then
cute.
for the most professional outfit, real bad man style, I would give it to me
it's
because it
funny,
would fly for
yeah.
sure.
I'm looking at the picture right now when you said real Batman style with the
I
glasses and
looking like a real
everything.
bad man. Rawr.
Shatters.
Murder.
Hey,
I
so
had
what's
the realest bad man outfit on.
so what's crazy about that though, and this is what's funny. I hate communicating with Ayo. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I really hate it. The reason I hate it is because I'll tell Ayo the
Okay, baby,
exact same
calm down.
thing, and Ayo interpret it three different ways. I don't know how. Tell everybody the same thing. I say to Cass, I say to you, I say to Kela. I said when I walk in this room, I want every man to turn around and watch out like, who the fuck is that? That's how I need to dress. And I'll take it and turn it into whatever I turn it into. Literally.
Okay, so well, while we on the subject, what was your from the tree woman who you give these information to, including Lay? what did you gather from what we showed up in?
Y'all put it
Give me
on. Y'all put it
give
on.
me
You know what
some
I mean?
feedback.
Y'all did a really amazing job. Like y'all had your legs out. You know what I mean? Like y'all were looking amazing. Like the clothes matched the vibe, the energy. When
Yeah.
y'all walked in, all the guys in the room turned around like, who the fuck is these girls? You know what I mean?
Okay,
So,
so do you feel like we did what you needed us to do? Did he know P?
who?
Did
Anyways,
he? Did he? Did
anyways.
you feel like we did what you needed
Did
us to
did
do?
did did, did y'all do what y'all was supposed to do? Yeah, y'all did what y'all was supposed to do. I appreciate y'all. But y'all
Okay,
y'all
thank
really
you.
were killing me this week trying to figure out this damn fit. I didn't understand it for
Hey,
nothing.
I had sent Cassandra a picture of a mini skirt, and she was like, "Nah." Keela was like, "Go back to the old money," because I was like, "I'm trying to dress like old money." She's like, "Go back to the old money. This ain't it. Not the mini skirt. Go back to the old
Oh, you
money."
both have your cheeks out.
Yes, but my ass was asking a little too much, so the mini skirt was like up here. My ass was down here. It wasn't gonna work.
They were I think
As
we
soon as
sell
you would have
them.
walked.
You know what?
You gotta have less ass for a mini skirt for Drew, and I
They were
hate
I
that
think
for
we
me
were
because I want one
pimping. They're
body.
like, oh, these dudes is pimps, man. They walk around with their hoes. What the fuck going on in here? But anyways, and it was a cool vibe. The food was dope. I had a burger, what you call it?
Wagyu.
Wagyu,
Wagyu.
Wagyu.
wagyu,
Wagyu.
You
madaras.
with these words tonight.
Why he is just a.
I all I
You
had
remember
my
when I
whole
said
life
men
was
would get
Wagyu,
a.
more
Wagyu
talk
burger. You
less?
trying to mix
Okay.
it.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I ain't never had no Wagyu burger. I had cheeseburgers, you know what I mean? American special. I never had nothing Wagyu before in my life. That was the first time. And they were busting with caramelized onions and all type of shit. It was really good.
I had the
Um,
salmon tacos. It was the best salmon tacos I ever had in my life. When I tell you, I ain't lying to
Oh
you.
wow.
Chloe, you know how
Hmm.
good it was?
Tell her right now.
So it was so good that nobody was talking.
No,
We
I thought
all
you
were
were gonna
doing
tell her
this.
it was so good that I went home. I went to the house and started to make salmon tacos again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was there. She will know. She definitely will know. Yeah, yeah, Zady, yeah, TK. Dope organization for real. I'll definitely check it. If I in Atlanta for real, they have 3 spots. Go check it out, man. It's very special. It's a country club. You can get into a membership. Oh, I didn't even say it. So that same night, Angela Simmons had her I don't know if it was a birthday party or something over there.
I believe it was her album release
Album
party.
release party or whatever. So she
Mhm.
had a party there and we couldn't go because we was busy partying.
Yeah, I wish we
On
could have been able to make it, but shout out to Angela for getting over there and getting that done. Congratulations. And also shout out to TK as well. Thank you for giving us the experience and allowing us to be a part of it. We really do appreciate
And he
you.
big VI too, so if you definitely want to tap in, like if you see him, I wish I had social media, I'll put it on the screen for
What's
you.
the name of what's the name of the country club again? Send
Retreat,
it in my phone.
I
Retreat.
got you. Retreat. Mm-mm-mm.
Retreat at the gathering spot or by the gathering spot.
Yeah, let me. Oh, we taking a phone break, everybody. Hold on. Retreat by TGS.
Okay. Retreat.
Yeah, if
Okay.
I want to find it,
Thank
man, just
you.
go look up Retreat. I'm putting the screen for y'all real quick, man. If anybody in the comment have it on there, if anybody in the comments have it up, I want to put it in the comments for everybody to see. You could put it in the comments for everybody to see, man. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, man, it was vibes. It was
Okay.
dope. If I definitely want to check it out, by all means, go check it out. Boom. See you there. All right, boom. So that was dope. That was dope. That was dope. What else we getting to? Oh, and we have more content coming. I just want to say we have more content coming. We
There's
always
so much content coming.
we don't always do a lot when we get around each other. We just don't like fuck around and have fun. We literally just be doing a lot of work, which is fun too. Like you see the TikTok that we did or the video, the get ready with me video. That was kind of fun. It was kind of annoying, but it's kind of fun at the same time.
Yeah, because we had a show to get to, but big Cass, not the little one. She wanted us
You
to
see,
get these
and
content
this is
in.
why I
Thank you so
don't
much,
like.
Cass.
I don't
Thank
like.
you
I
so
don't
much.
like. I don't like a woman don't take accountability. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
What?
Chloe, when we go on a trip, I want you to know from now, the person that you gonna wait for till the last minute. You want me to say it?
It's rain.
Oh,
It's
okay.
rain.
The
It's crazy.
person,
It's crazy to
mommy, I
say.
cussing. I am cussing.
Wait,
I
that's you
cussing
mean that
for a
take
reason.
forever?
The
Yeah,
person that gonna take
Mariano.
forever is the girl to my left, Lashoy. No,
It's me.
Chloe, nah,
Uh,
nah, nah. You can't do that.
Watch. It's gonna be
You
me and
let me tell you
LaShoy
something.
together.
Nah,
Like, is
nah.
you ready? And I ain't ready yet. Hold on, wait.
Nah,
I'm
they
gonna wait for
already have
you.
to
We
put up
going
with
out.
one. They can't deal with a
Like,
next. They're gonna trip.
You know what?
I
From now
take
on,
out of all my friends, yeah,
Let
it's
me show you
me.
something. The show start at 5. What we doing TikToks at 4:45 in the Airbnb.
Nah, but see, that's not my fault.
If we
That's
was
because
ready before 4:45, we could do the TikToks and have more time for more TikToks and then get out the house.
if you wasn't sitting there trying to, we was sitting down watching YouTube over and over, then I could have got the
You wasn't even watching YouTube. You was already outside getting ready. What are you was doing your makeup before you even leave the
no,
crib.
no, but before that I had to keep being like, all right, I'm about to start doing my makeup, and you guys was doing something. I can't remember what I was
We
doing.
guys were doing something. You wasn't doing shit.
My attention
Hey,
Accountability.
was needed.
it got
My
done at
attention
the end of the
was
day.
needed.
Hey, listen to me. We're gonna
It
make
got
sure on the
done.
schedule we have our schedule set for TikToks. You know what I mean? So next time this don't happen. But at the same time,
Hmm.
I leave in the crib at a certain time. If y'all come, y'all come. If y'all don't, y'all go. I just let y'all know. We tight shift over here. We changing it up. We changing it up, man. But nah, but free the trip was dope, man. Hopefully we get to experience it again with everybody, like how we did last time, Chloe included. And they're gonna be vibes, man. We like going to Atlanta. It's always cool in Atlanta.
Hmm.
Okay.
Anything you
It
want to
was
say, Shoy?
nice.
Hmm?
Ren was on his best behavior on this trip. He was nice. He was sweet. He was kind. You was
He
smart.
was
You was not.
kind.
Yeah.
You was
I'm
kind.
always
You
a
was
kind guy on these
smart.
trips. I was a kind guy
Hmm.
on these trips. Hey man, let me move on to other news, man. We got other topics to talk about, man. Let's
On
want to
to
give
the next.
up, my bad. I want to give a quick shout out to Big Fella Grub Food Truck one time for the one time. If I in Atlanta,
Shout
you
out,
never had
Chris.
Chloe ever had Big Fella Grub Food Truck
Nope.
before?
Nope.
You wasn't really living in Atlanta, man. You wasn't really in Atlanta.
Delicioso.
Nope.
So Big Fella Food Truck. Big Fella is his name is Chris. We call him Big Chris. He have a food truck in Atlanta, and he has a lot of celebrities that pull up to the food truck. His most
Okay.
recent
Well.
celebrity was Meek Mill. He came last weekend, and he does. I don't know how the other food places does it, but he does actually stuff his plate with food. So like
Okay.
you prepare
I'm
for the
going
food,
next
you get,
time.
and the food is amazing, really good, VI authentic food as well. Like I mad we didn't get to go. Every time we go, we normally to go, but this time we didn't get to go. I get a lamb all the time, couldn't get. But
I'm
McMillan
sick
went,
about it.
so I want to get him a quick shout out. You know, that's a big deal. You know, having these like main star, like real celebrities come to your spot and pull up and actually like try your food and love it. You know, so shout out to you one time for the one time, man. Hey man.
And also, before we run off of that topic, make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you go on With the Grain platform and make sure that you look for Big Fella Grub. His episode is also available to watch as well. And like you said, Meek Mill was there, and that was awesome to have a nice celebrity client come over and enjoy the food. And his first celebrity client was Future. So he's been in the
Okay.
game, he's been doing this, and he's been doing well. So I'm proud of you.
Yeah, we proud,
Okay.
big dog. Keep going. We want our plate when we come next time, man.
Facts,
Okay,
because that was good.
so let's get into some trending topics, man. I want. Let me start with Michael B. Jordan, man.
Hmm.
I want to give a
Michael
big.
Fine Jordan.
Oh, geez.
Michael Fine Jordan. That man is fine. Let's start with that.
Okay.
That man is fine. Okay. He is fine. He can do
I
no
ain't gonna
wrong in my
lie.
book.
I hope that's a woman talk about me when they walk in the room, man. That's a hell of a way to talk about somebody, man.
I
That's a
hope that's
beautiful
how they talk
specimen.
about me too.
That's a
Oh.
beautiful specimen. Like, mhm.
So that we give him a big shout out because he just won. What did he win? Was it an Oscar? I don't think it's an Oscar. Yes, it was an Oscar. He won Oscar for Best Actor, um,
Mhm.
at the 2026 Academy Awards for the movie Sinners. So shout out
Oh,
to him one time
good.
for one thing. I think you know he acting a lot of good
Mhm.
movies,
Well
and
deserved.
he
Did
definitely
y'all watch
was.
Sinners?
Hell
Yeah, I
yeah,
watched it many,
hell
many times.
yeah. We all
Yeah.
watch
Many
Sinners.
times.
I like Sinners. I watched it once. I want to watch it
Yeah.
again. I
Only
You only
didn't get to
once.
watched
That's
it
watch it
crazy.
again.
once?
I didn't get to.
That's
I don't
crazy.
really get a chance to watch movies as often as I would like to. You know, my time kind
Okay.
of limited. You check, but
Same.
but Sinners is one of those movies I would watch over and over again. Like that was really a good
Mhm.
movie.
What was your intake from it?
Oh my what?
What did you get from it?
So yeah, a lot of cultural stuff in there, especially with the music. I actually feel like the music is the window to the
That man
soul.
is wicked.
Mine is what?
That man is wicked.
All right. So I remember it was the woman in the in the barn that down there kill everybody. We could start with that. But anyways,
Mhm.
I got a big
No,
music.
because it was the evil vampire that dropped out the sky.
But she went in there. She take in the room and spit in him out. We all watched the damn movie, didn't we?
No.
Okay. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. They had a lot of music, and the music had a lot of culture, and the culture had a lot of soul. I feel like
Mhm.
music is the window to the soul. I feel like what somebody listens to tells a lot about who they is
Mhm.
culturally. You know what I mean? Like deep in their
Mhm.
culture, deep in their roots, you find out through their music and their playlist. So like watching the music, watching the dude, the deep voice actor, I forget his name, watching him perform. And yeah, a funny story too, like how he come into sinners, yeah, a really funny story. But watching him
Mhm.
perform and all the different like symbolic stuff, dealing with like the ancestors and stuff and how it transitioned into like hip hop, into the no new age hip hop, to old hip hop, to all them other different like eras and stuff. Like it was really dope to see. And
Yeah.
we all are connected somehow to the roots when it comes to music. That was one of the biggest takeaways I get from it. And I really love
Okay.
that. What about y'all?
Okay. 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 What'd you get from it, murder?
You
I
already know what she
got
get from it.
that one man is wicked and they're really tricky. Cause like I said in the beginning of the movie Sinners, the evilest vampire drop out the sky, the literal leader, and he
Mhm.
dropped out the sky. The Indians was chasing him, wondering where he was. And he tricked the woman and knocked on their door, the woman and the man, and was like, "Oh, I need
Right.
some help. I need some help." They let him in the house because you're not supposed to let a vampire in the house,
Mhm.
and he ended up taking over the husband, and he ended up taking over the woman. So it started with a man.
Mhm. Oh, she said it
Let's
started with a
let's It
man.
started with a man. Let's get it right.
Okay.
But what I got from the movie is that it really just depends on what it is that you're doing because it can attract a lot of different things, and you need to,
Mhm.
be careful about those things. That's just an awesome movie all around. Like that movie deserved every accolade. It deserved every Oscar that
Mhm.
it could have got. And he played a double role.
Somebody
Mhm.
said triple, but yeah, it was a double role for sure.
Yeah. I think that's a movie
Yeah.
that you have to watch more than one time.
You have to.
You
I
have
had
to.
to.
Yeah.
So yeah, do y'all think that the movie was scary?
No.
No.
Not at all. Not at
Not at
all.
No,
all.
it wasn't nothing
Yeah.
scary about
It
it.
was funny in my
Mm-mm.
opinion. I ain't gonna
It
lie.
had some funny parts.
It was.
When he tell
What that part where Steph was like, he can't see the vision.
Nah, the part when he was cussing the girl out at me dying, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. You gotta
It
watch
was.
it again though. You have to watch it again.
Let's
she's
show
like,
you
she's like, and she's
what
like, and
she
you
said.
said that you was da 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 da. She was like, some you. She's like, but my cool so hard and da, 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 da. I didn't know. And then he was like, and I told you to stay the fuck away from me too, but I guess you didn't hear that neither.
Nah, I been dying laughing when he said that shit, bro.
I
Oh
said,
man.
oh, mm-mm.
Nah, is no way he wouldn't have win an Oscar from it. There's no way he couldn't
Yeah.
win an Oscar. I don't even want to look and see who he was competing against, but there's no way because he did play a triple role. He played
Mhm.
both
Mhm.
brothers, of course, right? But then he had to
Yeah,
act as his brother as a vampire as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's
true.
three roles he played. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like,
That's
yeah,
true.
he do a hell of a job. He really work his for that Oscar.
Yeah.
So shout out
That
to you.
was
Chloe.
dope.
What was your interpretation of the movie? What did you get from it?
Um, well, my main interpretation on it was kind of like a representation of each brother was different. Like how
The
honestly it's kind of
opposites.
fucked up. Yeah, but our culture, how to me the vampires represented greed
Mm,
and the I could say maybe like the 2%. If y'all
Mhm.
understand what the 2% is, the 2% greed, the higher ups, money,
mm-hmm.
who control what. But I feel like the two brothers was opposites of our culture of a lot of us take the money side of things. And a lot of us
Mm-hmm.
be like, nah, we good, like we good with this. Like for instance, when he was saying like I think the workers was paying with they coins that they made at work or something like that. And then one of the workers didn't have any or something like that. And he was like, no, it's good or whatever. Like, as long as our people was showing support, like we good. And he like, nah, they said they got more. Yeah. If he wasn't seeing the bigger picture. But then remember, the other brother wanted to let the girl talk him into letting the vampires in, or wanted to, because they were saying how much they would pay. And how much money they had and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then a girl was trying to talk him into it, which is like that other side in your ear that's trying to get you to come over there. Like when people talk about, I'm not saying particularly like the Illuminati with the music industry and stuff like that, but in a sense with music, acting, business, the Wall Street, white collar, blue collar, all of that, like you gonna take this for the money, or you gonna have integrity and not let your pride take over because you being greedy. You know what I mean?
And men
so greedy got you fucked up. Greedy got them fucked up.
And
greedy
men gotta do better. Because why would you send that girl outside in the middle of the night to go check those 3 people to see what they was on? Why would you send that girl out there? Now she come back as a vampire.
Remember he was like basically saying like, what type of, they gonna bring a whole nother crowd and they'll bring more money. That's what he was saying. That's what they was talking about. So it was greed that got them fucked up, because their brother was on some greedy shit. So that's what I took from it.
Well, then, what's also funny? Because they was not scammers, those robbers. Because they was like scamming from different towns, right? So they was already like deep in greed from the beginning. But I guess robbing from their own people, I guess, is where it kind of draw the line, right?
Yeah.
And don't let your girl go outside in the middle of the night by herself to go check nobody, because she might come back a vampire and then bite you in the neck.
I let the security use the bathroom on the inside. You don't have to go in the tree line in the woods. Like, why do we send our security in the woods? Like, see what happened to him, man.
They don't care about our people. That's the next one.
That was a really good movie, man. So shout out to him for winning the Oscar. Like, he was a 6th. He became the 6th black man to win the award. Will Smith was the last one. Like, you remember what happened last time Will Smith won the award. You know what I mean? So
that's when he smacked him.
Keep my wife name out you. You know what I mean? Like, Chloe, you think that slap was right? You think he should have slapped Chris Rock?
No, I think he was in his feelings with a lot of things that was going on that year with him and within their relationship. And she'd been doing a lot of embarrassing stuff. I think it was just a lot build up in him. It was. He didn't know how to control his emotions.
That's right.
So
I think he did it for a different reason. I don't think he lost his temper.
He was cool. He was chill.
He said back down.
I don't think he lost his temper.
He was chill.
I think that Jada is used to more gangster thug type men, like Tupac, for example. And I think that the type of, I used to watch Jada Pinkett. I used to watch her Red Table Talk. It's available on Facebook still. I watch her when she talked for years on her Red Table Talk podcast. And one thing about her is she talked kind of like how I talk, is very direct. And if you watch her, you will notice that she's a gangster too. She really is. And she grew up in California. And I think that she's used to men who would slap somebody down no matter where they are. Like that's what the type of man I'm looking for. I want to make sure that you are going to protect. I can protect myself, but I want to make sure you can protect me too. So like, I want to make sure like no matter where we are, you feel like you bold enough to handle something. And I think that Will Smith is not that type of man. I don't feel like he lost his temper. What I feel like is Jada probably been telling him for a long time, you kind of weak, you soft, you wouldn't this and you wouldn't that. If something happened, you wouldn't pop it off. And I think that was his moment to just be like, yeah, okay, let me show you that I would defend you in front of all these people. That was not the time.
I think so.
Absolutely.
I think when you say deeper than that, though, I think it was something deeper that we don't know about. I think it was something within them all being cool, and something that he already probably said, something already crossed the line, something that I think it was something within those parts too, like that we don't know about.
Between all three of them.
Before,
yeah, between them, because they was all cool. Like something happened. Something happened that we don't know about that's in the industry. Something happened with them.
He wanted to prove
he
that
like,
to her,
nigga, I told you to shut the fuck up and stop speaking.
Let me ask you something, let's show you.
I don't think it was emotional.
If your man not do that, you would have liked that?
Yeah, I would have liked it, but at the same time,
if it's not in him though,
I would have been like, that is gonna cost us because of how you did it so publicly, and I wish you would have handled it more privately. And I'm more of a privately handling kind of person, so I would be upset, but at the same time, be like, "Watch it, he just slap him down to the ground." Yeah.
Yeah,
I
come
would
on the
have been
But we
podcast.
get
I would have been
Yeah,
so
see my
upset.
man. Yeah,
but
see what
are
my
you see
man
my
do.
man? Are you see my
I would
man?
have
That's
been
my man,
upset.
But
I
we
would have
getting
showed
sued,
it, but I
babe.
would
We
have been
getting
upset.
sued. We getting sued for sure.
Hmm I would have
Yeah,
been so
see.
annoyed. I would have had to sit there, just keep being cute and just act like I wasn't bothering and be like, nigga, when we get in a motherfucking car.
I think they have a thing coming out between the two of them, actually a conversation between two of them coming out on TV. I think
Yeah.
on streaming
Oh, that's gonna do
platform.
numbers.
I think, yeah, this is all planned. Nothing is coincidence. It's all planned.
Hmm
We want Chris Rock make more money and be a legend. We want Will Smith to bounce back is his story. It makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense why these things happen. So shout out to them,
Yeah, I
shout out to
want Will Smith
everybody.
to bounce back from that for
I mean, I
real.
think he already did
Yeah.
bounce back. He living his life. That's Will Smith. You can't
Because they
cancel Will
said he
Smith.
wasn't allowed to come back to those awards or something. I want him to be able to,
I
squash
mean, he
everything.
shouldn't be allowed to go back after something like that. You don't do that on TV.
No,
You
You
have
were
to
on
no.
have. That's the
stage and smacked you.
consequences is real. You need to
No,
have
but you can't say
consequences.
that because there's plenty of people have fought at the Grammys. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B got into a fight at an awards, and she
The
got a lump
Grammys
on her
ain't as
head.
big as the Oscars. It's two different,
That's
two
true.
separate places. One place to
That's
promote,
true.
next place to
Was they
promote.
where were they at? Was that the Met
Yeah,
Gala?
true, true, true.
That
That's a
was a
Met
Met
Gala. You're right.
Gala.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Mhm.
Well,
You're right.
sure. What you doing? You bouncing? You staying? We about to slide over. You bouncing? Or you staying? Before we slide into this next topic.
Well,
I was waiting for the show.
first thing I want to say is I want you guys to make sure that you do not forget that we have more content coming for you guys. Make sure that you follow With the Grain podcast on Instagram, Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also follow us on TikTok and listen anywhere that you get your musical podcast and your Apple podcast. We are available. Now, I do have to go get ready for a very, very, very special big event tonight. Yes, I. Hey, shout out to the people. But I will see you guys later. Thank you so much, Chloe, for being here with us. We really love
Absolutely.
and appreciate you very much. Reno, big drip, did on. You already
Kiss
know
your
what time it
mother's gun.
is.
For
And
sure.
this Island Fine LA, I will see you guys soon. Chloe, you got the floor.
Bye.
Chloe, get the
See
floor.
you. Hmm.
Yeah, man, like she said, just reiterate real quick. Shout out for pulling up everybody in the live. I see how you doing that thing. I appreciate how you. We live every Wednesday. I think the flyer says 7:30, but I think we go live at 8 o'clock. I don't know how the flyer get changed
Yeah,
up
it
with the
was 8
time.
o'clock.
Yeah, we go live at 8 o'clock every Wednesday. We might change the time if we could, but 8 o'clock is our number. So pull up at 8. That's when we pulling up. You could re-listen to the episode every Friday. You could rewatch the episode on YouTube, Facebook, and you could see what you miss if you didn't get to watch it live. So, Chloe.
Yo,
Oh shit, it's just you and me, Ross. What you
it's
saying?
just you and me. Let's get into it.
It's
It's just
our
us.
show. No,
They
we
left
get
us
to
by
yap.
ourselves tonight.
Yeah, they fuck up. We want to go crazy. Irie, so you bring up Mac.
Yes, so I
Hmm.
want to talk about Matt.
Let's talk about
So
Mac.
if y'all know who that is, that's the owner of St. Thomas Social. It's a lot going on with him right now. That man
Hmm.
got a lot of charges that he facing. Supposedly he ran from the States from his problems, came to St. Thomas, opened up a restaurant, got into some things. He don't really get along too well to me. I mean, I know he got a lot of friends that's, well, I ain't gonna say friends, maybe acquaintances, who knows? People take pictures with people, post and whatever.
Hmm.
Maybe got a lot of acquaintances, got a lot of friends in the Virgin Islands, but he also got a lot of people that ain't really rocking with him like that. We
Hmm.
ain't gonna get too deep into it, but not too long ago, him and one of his business partners was going back and forth with people on the internet on Facebook about saying that they don't sell sauce at their restaurant and just kind of disrespect, not even no kind of straight up disrespecting the Virgin Islands culture. It was a whole big back and forth. A lot of people stopped supporting St. Thomas Social because it used to be the spot for brunch. It really did. You would
Hmm.
see all the locals there. It was the spot for brunch. It's a beautiful place right outside. It used to be I think Senior Frogs. What it used to be? I could be wrong.
I ain't
Something
gonna rock. So
frog. It
you,
used to
you
be
got
something.
lie
Oh,
about
okay.
you.
Well, it's in Yacht Haven Grand. It
Hmm.
used to be lit. It used to be something else that was lit, but beautiful outside place right on the harbor where the yachts come in or whatever, right there or whatever. So beautiful, beautiful place. Anyways, end up getting into it with a bunch of people, disrespecting the VI culture, the food. He ended up going to jail for some fraud stuff that he going through, and now my man's is running for Senate, and he's into it all the time. But my
Oh,
girl
that's crazy.
Janelle, all the time they go back and forth a lot. Shout out to Janelle. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but that girl is fine. She fine as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But he's into it with Janelle all the time. But he's running
Mm-hmm.
for Senate now, and I just feel like he kind of making a mockery out of it. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like you just pulling, keep, you know what I mean? Instead of just bowing out and saying, I'm sorry, y'all, my bad. I feel like he's making a mockery out of the VI. And he really just trying to, some people got so much pride to where they just want to start shit like bullies. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's what he's doing, just like a big bully.
Because what's crazy is watching his the charges and stuff that he
Mm-hmm.
facing, $888,000 in fraud scheme.
That's a lot of money.
That's kind of crazy, and like you
That's a lot of
said, kind
money.
of making a mockery because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he sits on the board. Which board he sits on? He sits on. Oh, I gotta go back in my notes. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, like he's out there in the public. He posting about these type of things or whatever. He making a mockery of the system or whatever. And, like they making the Virginians look kind of bad, especially when being a
Mm-hmm.
business owner down there too. Like it's very interesting. I didn't even know about this until you bring it to my attention. Like I didn't even know this was
Yeah.
going on. You're checking it. I didn't even know that Facebook had all this antics going on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of crazy. Like, so like, so let we circle down to the point that you have bring up to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's an outsider coming into the Virgin Islands, creating these businesses or whatever. And like you said, like he had all these different type of things happen in his restaurant, which kind of in a sense discouraged locals from even want to go to his restaurant. Do you feel
Yep.
like we should have a little more strict requirements for outsiders to come in and start businesses in the Virgin Islands?
Absolutely. Now it doesn't have to be as far as to what I think. We said that we
Mm-hmm.
had to look it up. I honestly didn't look it up to do my research, but if I'm not mistaken, I know somewhere it might be Tola or whatever, but somewhere in the BVI to where you have to be from there or you have to have somebody that's from there on the paperwork in
Mm-hmm.
order to open up a business. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be to that extent because being that the Virgin Islands is the United States territory, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it's too much leniency in the Virgin Islands when it comes to being able to get away with things and push it to the side or just pay things off to get
Mm-hmm.
licensing and stuff for things. I think it should be more looked into because there's absolutely no way that he came there from where he came from, what running from something else with all those outside charges that they didn't look into before granting this man a license or something to be able to open up business there. That should have
So
been a whole red flag there to look into somebody past and see what I think it's like fraudulent charges or something going
yeah,
through in the
it's
states.
fraud. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
fraud
fraud.
scheme.
Like, so why wasn't that dug into? And more than likely, it all comes down to this. It's always this. Look at the
Mm-hmm.
camera. It's always this.
Dollars.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always that. Somebody got some money to pay something off.
I
That's
trying
what it
to
always come
see
down into.
why I trying to see is was he this happened in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you good? Okay. Um so between January and June 2024, um this was when the alleged fraudulent transactions happened, right? But like, so for example, like did they just find out? Like is he no being prosecuted for this? Like no, because they just found out, or
No, it's when when charges come up, it takes a while to build a case. So it
okay.
was things this been talked. This is nothing new. It's been talked, but
Mm-hmm.
it takes a while to build a case. Like if you go down the history of it and you do your research on it and you look down from BI Consortium and all of that and conversations and arguments and stuff like that, like people been new and people been saying that he's been real arrogant about it. Like I'm not going to jail. I'm not gonna get da da da. Like whatever they saying is everything he says. Everything is false. This is false, that is false, that is false. Now charges are just now being brought to him. You know what I mean? So it takes a while to build a case because I ain't gonna lie, like where was the money coming from? Because it's not coming from that restaurant itself. They're not making no money like that. Like I know a few people who work there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't making no money like that. It's not coming from that. And I know like the owner of it for real, who does not live in St. Thomas, who is another older guy, way older than him, an older guy who has multiple restaurants. Like it's coming from something. And by all means, do your thing. You know what I mean? Like do your thing. Everybody's stealing from Peter to pay Paul, but it becomes a problem to where you coming into somewhere else and somebody else's territory and you being disrespectful. You have to respect the culture that you're not from, especially if you're trying to do business in there. Because I know a couple of places, all of that's been going on with him and how he be on the internet going back and forth with locals. Oh, that place when it existed the next day. That place would not have existed the next day. It would have been no restaurant to go back to. Like some people don't play about their places, you know.
I guess it's because they kind of see him as a what you call it. I guess they see him as a what's the word? You know, everybody just want to do memes and meme culture. Like everybody just want to like think everything is a joke and it's funny. But I think that's probably it could be the reason that people don't go in an uproar about what he doing. So naturally, pull up the file. She's saying the British Virgin Islands foreigners can set up companies
Oh,
remotely
they can
without
set up companies.
residency requirements. That's
Oh, damn.
interesting.
Okay.
So in the VI, it's really simple in the VI to be outside
open
and
something up.
open a business. That you just gotta
Yeah.
apply for a business. I have it right here. I could tell you exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Register for the business with the Division of Corporations and Trademarks. Apply for a business license from the Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs. Register for taxes with the Virgin Islands and follow labor and local regulations. And that's it. They don't really have a crazy way.
I
Like,
wonder if they do background check and
so they
stuff
do
like
background
that.
checks. They do background checks to make
So
sure
it
that
ain't
you
no
ain't.
way this motherfucker passed a background check. It was some
And
under the
that's why we're
table
gonna
thing. You
say
know what I mean? Like
something
I
I
didn't
don't know.
even, yeah, some ain't adding up because I ain't even take my driver's test or my written test in St. Thomas to get my license. So, you know, it's some under the table
Hold on,
for
Chloe.
real.
Hold on,
Like
Chloe.
it's
Hold
some
on.
under the
Don't
table.
purge yourself and with the game, man. No, we
Not
can't see you to go
not.
to jail, man.
Man,
They
there's
gonna
so
come
many
looking for
people who
you.
did not. So many
I
people who
do
did not.
minds. I
It's
do
too much
minds.
under the table. It's so much under the table. And like I said, by all means necessary, do your thing, make your money, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But you just gotta respect where you at. That's where the main shit comes from. Like, and mind you, I ain't got no problem with the man. Like, I don't have no problem with him. But I'm not from St. Thomas, but I've been living there for 10 years. I personally can't go back there after, you know what I'm saying, after getting into it, people saying that stuff about the plate, about we don't sell all that back and forth stuff. I feel disrespected as that, like, that's my people. You know what I mean? Like, you came here, you disrespect, that's my people. Like, my sister used to work there. I went there, go up there. She kept telling me, come up here on my shift. Absolutely not. I told you to go work anywhere but there. So, no, I'm not coming.
So what
Absolutely
they
not.
so
But
not to advertise the way it is that they sell to be like, is it that they sell mainly like things that tourists would eat in a sense? That's kind of what they do.
so it seemed like it's like catered to, like, I know the main cook, I think he's Indian, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. Yeah, I think he's Indian. So it seemed like it's like mixed. I don't know. I wasn't a fan. I'm not a fan. I went for brunch. I think I had salmon Benedict or something like that. I think that's what I had. I think
Salmon
that's what I had
Benedict.
for dinner.
That
Yeah,
sounds
I
kind
think
of
that's what I
crazy.
had. Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
that's
I
what I
expect
had.
that type of thing in Iraq, you know.
And I had a bunch of
But
shots. That's why I don't really remember. But you know, you just went for the drinks and the vibes. And like I said, it's a beautiful place. It's a nice place, nice atmosphere. I feel like it would have continued to do very well, you know, with the years coming. But I feel like he gets fucked up when he disrespect the culture. Like you just cannot do that. You can't, especially when you don't look like us. You can't
100%.
do that.
I
You
agree
cannot do
100%.
that. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
yeah, that's
do that.
interesting
So
because I feel like we don't go in an uproar. I mean, I know about St. Croix when like outsiders or people that's not us try to do things or create their own rules or try to like own things that they don't own,
yeah.
like the beaches and shit like that. Like I know we'd have gone on there and raised hell, you know what I mean? So like
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting that on the flip side in Iraq, like that ain't really happening, which I would assume Iraq would be just as furious as how St. Croix would be just as furious, you know?
I think Rock will be furious, but people don't really act on stuff. You know what I mean? People really more so like they talk, but it ain't no action behind it. It's like people don't come together and really be like, nah, we ain't really fucking with that, or we ain't really, you know, like it don't be that. It don't be that.
Has a restaurant ever been canceled in St. Croix? That's a good question for the people in the audience. If are listening, I want to tap in and tell us one that been cancelled. I'm trying to remember if one been cancelled, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't put it past encourage people to cancel a restaurant because we don't play around when it comes to that type of stuff, man. But
Yeah, I
like you
told you I'm
said,
scared of saying. I'm scared of cruising.
oh my God. Just hey
I'm
yo, my dog in
scared
the
of
comment.
cruises.
Yo, Justin, this is Chloe. Chloe, this is Justin. He in the comments, he
Hi,
just bigging you up.
Justin.
He like to see you. He say you look amazing and it's good to see
Thank
you.
you,
I introducing
Justin.
her here, you know. But Justin, I give you a heads up. Chloe don't want to date anybody from St. Croix. She think St. Croix man does harm women for whatever reason. So she's staying away from the St. Croix man. And all the rock people say that St. Croix men is dangerous and
Yeah, they
it's
are.
a big red flag to women to be a man from cruise. So I don't know, Justin. She got to change her mind, dog. Um,
Man,
you know, hmm. It was interesting just reading this whole situation, this whole like the news article about it. When I was skimming through it, I was like, yo, that's insane. Like you said, he passed a background check, but like this whole thing like is insane.
it's like, how did you pass the background check? But just need to be more, and I feel like they probably more than likely, because I've had friends who've opened businesses. I've tried to get my business license out there, which I'm not there anymore. So it really, I'm saying, didn't
Mm.
make sense to keep going through with it. But even with my experience with the process that I was going through with me and my mom was trying to do something. And then friends that I know that have tried to open up businesses there and have opened up businesses there, was successful, was doing it. It seemed like they give locals more of a hard time than outsiders.
Oh, so for you it would have been easier.
No, because they thought I was a dang on local.
You ain't
They
sound
are
like no
rude.
local though. You
They
sound like
are
a local.
rude. They are
Mm.
rude. Would they be like, "Oh, you've been in the States for a while?" No, I actually came here from the States. Like, yeah, they are rude. But it seemed from my friends' experiences, like people who I know who have businesses in the Virgin Islands or whatever, it seems like they have gotten more of a hard time than people that I know that's not local.
Hmm.
Like they give them more of a hard time. Like, I don't know, it's something with, and y'all can hate me for this, but I don't care. I'll be the one to say it. We give our own people a hard time. We do. We give
Of
our own people a
course.
very hard time. We are the only culture, to me, that really pull each other down and don't help each other out, don't come together to do a lot of things. That's why it's hard for us to really come up for real, because we always want to be in competition with one another. When it's not supposed to be a competition, we're supposed to be helping each other. I don't care if we family or not. We really are family for real. But we
You
really
know?
all in competition with each other and always want to give each other a hard time. But we go to all these other places that's not black and don't have a problem with the prices, don't have a problem with nothing they selling, don't question nothing. We go
Mhm.
there first before we go anywhere else or before we help each other. Like, that should be ridiculous.
So
But
let me ask you, from the for the locals that want to start a business, do you have any like, if you could give an idea of something that could like incent, like they could like the department of whoever it is that they give out business licenses, do you feel like there is something that they could do to incentivize locals to start businesses? Do they do that?
not that I know of.
You have
No,
any
not that I
idea or
know
something
of.
that they could do to like incentivize locals to start businesses?
I
If you could
mean,
give
well,
an idea.
but for one, it's just so damn expensive back at home right now.
How
That junk
much is
is
this? If you
expensive.
could give me a ballpark number to get a business license, how much it is?
Oh, don't let me lie. We're gonna have to look that up. Do not let me lie.
Let me
Do not let
see.
me. But I'm not saying the business license itself is
Mm-hmm.
expensive. I'm saying the economy is expensive.
Oh,
So
for
it's very,
sure.
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
hard to keep something still going, especially if it's not tourist season. So you got to depend on local support. You know what I mean? And then if it's not a lot
Money
of people,
circulation.
yeah, if it's not a lot of people at home that spending money, and then you got to close for season, but you got to be able to have the cheese to stay closed for season
You
and
know,
still open back up.
I had this conversation a lot actually in the last couple of weeks. I don't know why. I guess it was meant for
Mm-hmm.
this episode. I was trying to find out like how the Virgin Islands make their money, right? I know they make them
Mm-hmm.
obviously to make money. You gotta make money from the outside,
Yeah.
right? You gotta make money from the outside. Okay, see you. So government initiative offers grants ranging from 1,000 to 7,000 to micro and small businesses. That's big actually. That's really dope. Like, say
But
I
they
want
need
to
to
start a
up. They
small
need to up
business.
that number.
But we talking about money, right? We talking about the money they
Yeah.
don't want to give us. So that's a whole
Yeah.
next thing. But anyways, if I want to start a small business or something, like these are things that y'all could get to make that happen. Shout out to all SEO girl
Yeah.
doing her thing, man.
But
Thank you.
tourism, anything with tourism, like I could say, I mean, I can't go to jail for it. Shit, it's gone, and I'm here now. But I made the most money off. I had car rentals in St. Thomas that I was renting out. When I tell
To
you, I was
tourists.
trapped. Wait, I was trapping the rentals out like I was a like
Yeah.
trap,
So
trap,
that's
trap, trap,
so
trap
that's
boy.
that's why you
Like,
were going to say. That's what I was trying to say. I was like, how do we make the money? The money have to come from the outside. And we gotta
mhm.
find in the boutiques. You know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? Ain't the shirt stores. Like, ain't no knock to none of that stuff I'm doing. Like, if that's how I'm passionate, I want to do that, do that. But, like, if you
Yeah.
want to make money, I want to start a business but don't know where to start researching, like, what people want
And
when they
food.
come
And food. I had a food
and
truck in St. Thomas. And
with good
food.
customer service.
Yep.
That
And
might be
food.
hard in St. Thomas in
Yeah,
the
people like, you
Virgin
not from
period.
here. I'm like, why you say that? Because you nice.
Cause
You
you
got wonderful
nice.
customer service. Like, okay.
So
Yeah.
doing access
Yep.
LLC shipping cruise. I don't have the number, man. I don't have the number for you. I'm sorry. But you could do clothes, you could do boutiques, you know. But I
Mm,
just think like I saw yeah, lots of different like you know a lot of people that do food stuff in
yeah.
towns and stuff where the tourists will be passing through. So that probably making some good money.
Mm.
I'm more thinking about what's a service that you could provide to tourists that could make them more money.
Yeah, the VI is a gold mine. It really is. You can make money there. You just gotta have the money to make the money. And you gotta
Hmm.
have the money to make sure, like, okay, you gonna break even or you might take an L at first, but it's gonna come. But the Virgin Islands is a gold mine. It really is. Like you can make money there for sure.
You know that should be one of our next conversations we should have on the podcast. We should actually like find some people that make money in the Virgin Islands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably hit up Caribbean currency. 'Cause I know, for example, Kyle, I know they know to make money in the Virgin Islands for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the kind of things they're talking about, like how can we as locals or people as in the Virgin Islands, how can they actually make that profit? Because money revolving, right? Economy is revolving. So like if
Mm-hmm.
people locally ain't making money, then how do we spend the money? So like we are get into the science and figure out how we could get our revolving money into our pockets as well. So that would be a really good conversation to have. Actually, I'm gonna tap in with them and see if we can have a conversation about it. That'd be a really good collab episode. I think that would be
Yeah.
really powerful. You know what I mean? So the reason I was smiling earlier was because I was like, what? Watch how this gonna tie into our next topic.
What? What are you smiling for?
The topic, and this is the topic that you bring up.
Oh,
Where
my
and
topic.
when did the traditional household end?
When and where should a traditional household end? Okay. And
When
you
you
said
bring up
that
that
tied
topic,
in.
that's why I was smiling. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it all starts because of money.
It all starts because of money.
It
It does.
ends because of money. Literally, you could research it from the top go down. It's literally stems from a system of just money in the black
Mm-hmm.
household. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go off because I don't want to go on my rant. I'm gonna let you go off. Go ahead.
Now I want you to go on your rant. So,
Mhm.
y'all, what I was doing, I was basically educating him over here about when the traditional household, when did it die? So I was letting him know, the crack epidemic, which was in the 1980s and 1980s and 90s, that was the initial breakdown of the black household. So we had the crack epidemic and we had the closing of the plants. When I say the plant, y'all, I mean like Ford and stuff like that, like Ford and Chrysler. That's
Manufacturing.
yeah, very, very, that was very, very, very big. Still to this day it is, but back then that was like the money makers. Like my family from my mother's side is from Tennessee, and how we got to Detroit was because my grandfather sold all of his animals and stuff on the farm because his brother went to Michigan and he told him like, "Hey, I'm working at a plant up here. I'm making money up here. You need to move up north and bring your family here." So that's
Mm-hmm.
how my family got from Tennessee to Detroit because of the plants.
Mm-hmm.
But the plants closing in the 80s and the 90s, and then the crack epidemic, they call it the perfect storm for
Yep.
the
Yeah.
for the black culture,
Yeah.
So that started to break down the household. So at that time, black men had no choice, honestly. Well, I mean, you had a choice, but you had no choice, honestly, for when the plants closed. What you gonna do when the plant closed? You ain't got no money coming in into your household. So as a man, you fall into a depression. You trying to figure out how the fuck am I about to make some money to take care of my family. So
Everybody going to a plant to try and get into the
everybody
next
wants to
one.
plan to trying to get into the next one, but they was all closed.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then crack was put on the streets. So
Mm-hmm.
when crack was introduced, what you gonna do? You're either gonna sell it or you gonna use it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you selling it, you on the streets, you outside. If you get caught, you going to jail. It was mass
Mm-hmm.
incarcerations for people who
I
were
was gonna
selling
say
crack
that.
cocaine. Who,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they were selling crack cocaine, mass incarcerations with very, very strenuous, very, very strenuous charges, like crazy ass charges. Like, people get more time for selling dope than murder, like literally. It was crazy putting on the streets. And then if you became a crackhead, you can't take care of your family.
So
So
you're like,
then,
good.
so then, what does that do? If the man can't hold down the household, who's next in line? The
The
mother.
mother.
So now the mother can't take care of the kids. She can't be there as a mom and provide for the children, give them nurturing, hold the house down how she's supposed to hold the house down. So then the mother goes out and look for work. But now who's starving? And I don't mean literally with food, but who's starving from nurturing, from mental stability, from love, from all of that? The kids.
Mhm.
So now that leaves the kids to either run wild, get more influences from outside. They start running the streets too, seeing what they uncles doing, their fathers doing. The girls start acting like grown women. It breaks down the whole structure of the household completely. So the start of it was the crack epidemic, the closing of the factories, and then that broke down the black household, the family completely.
So let me take a time machine real quick, man. So the time she described in the perfect storm she described in 1970s, I think it started actually before. I think it started like
Was it the
like
70s?
let's start in this. I think it start like
I think it
during the
was in
60s and it roll into the 70s and continue. I think
and continue on.
the official time I think is the 70s. But let me
So,
paint to you like this way, right? Blacks was always last, or blacks was always first.
mhm,
They was last to get the positions that had the money, right? They was last to get the jobs that had the money. The whites started with it, you know what I mean? Every our race started and actually had like pension, not pension, sorry. They had people leaving their money back for houses and estates and all these different stuff.
mhm.
Well, black people start with nothing, right?
Head starts.
So they had a head start, we didn't have a head start. Boom. Now let's say we try and get a job, we're the last to get a job. Oh, you know, we gotta make cuts to that job. You know who the first to get cut? The black man. So when all these factories start to close, right, and all these different places start to close down, black people was on the street. They had nothing to do, right?
Mm,
So it's kind of crazy when you think back about that because the perfect, like, I was trying to do the research and be like, what was the one thing? Like, what was the problem? The one fault, and like, it was just a mix of everything. You know what I mean?
mhm,
I mix out the time in history. I mix out what was put on the street while that was happening. When you talk about the crack or whatever, the mass incarcerations, like they literally
mm,
separated. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know if they had like a big boardroom meeting and they was like, "Yo, we got gays, but people out the house." Like these
Less
parents together,
marriages, all of
yeah.
that.
Like the number of the number that the percentage that came the results of the statistic how much single how much kids was born in our house that wasn't married. That's what it was. How much
Mhm,
babies were born to an unmarried family. Like the number was so high. Like after this crack epidemic shit, like it was insane. If you see the difference between the two, like it was a really low number before, and then like it literally just shoot up. Why? 'Cause everybody in fucking jail, everybody on
mhm,
drugs. Like the house is literally broken. 'Cause when money is one of the biggest um causes of depression, you know, in a house, in a couple, like in a couple's period, like money is one of the biggest arguments in a couple, in a relationship. You know what I mean?
That's the number
So
one cause of divorces.
the number one cause of divorce is for money.
Mhm,
So imagine a time where I can't even get a fucking job for real. They letting me
mhm,
go, and I doing this to come home so y'all could have something, and I can't even do it. You know what I
mhm.
mean? It's just very interesting when you go back and read all that stuff. You know what I mean? Because I gonna bring up your point, right? I gonna bring up your point because you. This is one of the points you bring up. You said, "Do
Uh-huh.
black men have it hard with all these expectations, or is it excuses?"
Yeah. Like,
So
do you feel like it's a like, people like how people say, and I hate this thing when people be like, oh, get over slavery. It happened so long ago. Is really a trauma that stems from y'all. Like I feel bad for my black man. That's why I love my black man. But I feel bad for my black man because it's really a trauma that stems from y'all that goes so above y'all head that y'all don't even understand that a lot of people cannot come out of because it came down as a domino effect in some people's families to where it never got back right.
mm,
And it's still to this day, it never got back right for a lot of people's families.
you know, the reason to me the question was interesting is because it was with all these expectations, or is it excuses, right? And then I thought about the word excuses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People probably be like, he just blaming the system. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he's saying like shit just hard, like it's fucked up, but he could do something about it. So excuses when you don't excuses when you have a choice but you choose to do something else. That's the excuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
So reading that question, reading back in history and seeing everything that happened, and then coming back to the question, I was like, damn, like it's really hard to say this could be an excuse because like even no, like it's like in certain places it's really hard. You know what I mean? And it's kind of still like that, like in a sense, being the last to gate or being the first to go. Like in a
What
sense,
you
it's
mean,
kind
like
of
the
still like
job
that.
market?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, what makes it even more hard for y'all too, though.
Well,
Now is because now y'all competing with women.
mm-hmm.
Y'all not. First of all, y'all was only competing with the white man, and then y'all were competing with white men and white women. Now y'all competing with white men, white women, and black women.
Well, Chloe, you preaching to the choir, my son.
So now
Cause
y'all competing with the women too, which y'all wasn't supposed to, honestly.
that's why he's saying it's designed
So
in
it
a
knocked y'all down.
crazy ways, like systematic terrorism. If you think
Hmm.
about it, like it was designed to bring us down. Cause if you think about it, right, y'all had to evolve. Y'all had to
Yeah,
evolve into
we
who
didn't have a
y'all.
choice.
Y'all had to evolve, and I salute y'all though. You know what I mean? Because I feel like back then the role of the woman was to take care of the house, right?
Hmm.
The house is the family. The family is
Hmm.
all of us together, right? So it's like you evolve into this person, which in today's time you kind of have to be this person to take care of the house. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Traditionally, yeah, you probably could stay home, but it's like to really, really take care of the house. Like we all have to come together and work together to get to this common goal, so that we could
yeah,
retire, take care of our kids, and be happy for the rest of our life, right? So it's just interesting, like how they put her in a position of power, but at the same time trying to make her seem like I was small or helpless. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's kind of crazy when you think about this whole thing, bro. Like, my mind was blown doing this research.
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was just like, wow,
yeah.
we're gonna talk about this on the podcast. This is crazy stuff. This is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, but like you said, they put us in a position to where we didn't have no choice but to step up. And one thing about us black women, let me tell you, we are super women. Okay, so we didn't
Facts.
have no choice but to step up. I had my ex told me, she told me that one of her main problems with me, she said I am too strong of a black woman. She said you are the true definition of a black woman. You too strong for me, and it made me analyze a lot of things. And I'm like, no. At first I did look at it like, damn, am I too strong? But I'm not too strong. I am, and it's not an excuse. I am a product of my environment. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up in a household with my mom and my sister, and my dad was present, but my dad was more so present financially. Now, me and
Mm-hmm.
my daddy, that's my dog. Today, my daddy birthday too. Happy birthday, daddy. Today, my
Yeah,
daddy
shout out to
birthday.
you.
My
Mm-hmm.
dad, my pops, 66 years old, that's my dog. My daddy is one of the realest niggas in it. My daddy been through a lot. And I didn't have an understanding from him. If y'all remember from the last show, if y'all watched, I told you that it took me a while to gain the respect that I had for a man because I had a difficult time with my father. So once I got the
Mm-hmm.
respect with my father, then I respect for man. But anyways, I grew up in a house with my mom and my sister, and I watched my mom. My mom had 3 jobs my whole life. Me and my sister never went without though. Like we were spoiled as hell. You know what I mean? If it was a struggle, we never knew about it, but I watched my mom be that woman. So when I got older, whether I have a partner in my life or not who's helping me financially, I'm always still gonna want to go out and get my own. Cause that's what I saw. You know what I mean? Even when my mom was married to my dad, like my mom didn't have to do anything, but they divorced broke up when I was 4. I don't remember that. I don't even know from seeing my mom, get to the bag. So
Mm-hmm.
all I know is get to the bag. So regardless of whatever you got going on, I still want my own coins. You feel me? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, I'm not too strong of a black woman. I'm the perfect balance. Fuck you. I'm the perfect balance. But like you say, we didn't have a choice but to step up, but to step in. But it did create an imbalance in the household. And like I said earlier, when we first got on the show, it was all jokes, but I'm dead ass serious. I was not there to vote to say I wanted to work. I enjoy making my own money, but I do aspire to be a mother one day. I do aspire to be a wife one day. I work Monday to Friday as a dental lab technician from 8 a.m. to about 5:30, 6:30 p.m. at night. And I bartend at a bar on the weekends on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday sometimes. So sometimes I literally work 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I decide to work 5, 6 days a week. It's up to me. But I was telling myself recently, I'm 34 years old. I want to get married. I want to have a child. There is no way in hell that I can be a proper mother and a proper wife will work in the way that I do. it will be such an incomplete balance in the household because I won't be able to do my part in a traditional household, and I have traditional values. I feel like it is. I do have certain roles in the house. I'm supposed to take care of the household and nurture the household and take, in that
Mm.
aspect. And my partner is supposed to do everything financially when it comes to the household. But
So
I can't do that shit with working my ass off. I can't.
not 7 days a week, man. Hold
Not
on,
7 days a
you
week.
might
I
gotta tell the
can't.
bar they gotta do something else. You know what I mean? You
Not
can't go
even
back to the
5 days a
bar.
week. That's really hard as it to be at work from sun up to sundown and then have to come home and be a mom and be a wife. That is
Mm.
absolutely insane. Now, I'm not saying that women shouldn't work. I absolutely still want to work, but I just want to do my own thing. Like I want to I
Mm-hmm.
want to have my own business again. But punching somebody's clock and then having to come home to punch your family's clock,
Mm-hmm.
you gonna knock out. You're going to drain yourself. You cannot do that. That's why traditional household values are important. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like I always ask, so I wanted to ask you because I said I asked some of my homeboys. I wanted to ask you. Some of my
As a
homeboys say that
homeboy,
you was my homeboy.
yeah, I'm
Some of my
saying
home, you was
level
a
up in
brother.
life. It's,
Some of my homeboys, they say like they would not want a career driven woman because of
mm,
those reasons, because it will cause an
mm,
imbalance in the household.
mm. Do I want a career-driven woman? Hell
You
yeah.
want a career driven woman.
Hell
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Hell yeah.
So
Hell
if you
yeah.
had a
Hell
woman that
yeah.
was
Hell
wanted to
yeah.
make
Hell yeah.
partner at
You meet yourself.
that, you want a woman that could
You go. You back. You back. You back.
follow me. That's my mother.
Okay. Tell her to in
Let
the
me turn
podcast.
right. Yeah. You wanted if you had a woman that wanted to make partner at a law firm, that takes a lot
That's
of
a
work.
lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. I ain't gonna
And
lie.
y'all got 3 kids at home. Would
Hold
you
on now.
support her until she
You didn't
make
say you didn't
partner?
say we had kids. Hold on, hold on. You moving
Come
fast.
on, we
Okay, so we
grown.
have 3 kids. 3 kids. She wanna make partner. I would support the hell out of her.
You would
Yeah, I
support her until she
support
made
her.
partner.
Hell yeah, I
I fuck with
support her.
that. I agree with that.
I will support her because I don't want to take away from what it is you want to do in this life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If this is who you want to become, like I here to hold your hand and support you and say, yeah, my woman did that. You know what I mean? Like that's to
Right.
me, that's sexy. You know what I mean? I love shit like that. So
Right.
I with it for sure. No, the thing is, are we both big dreamers? Are we both goal driven? Are we both goal oriented? Like me, for
Mm-hmm.
example, like I want to be successful in the things I doing as well. So it's like we just have to come to us understanding and work on a schedule that makes sense for both of us. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we
Right.
just gotta find balance, and if we find balance, then we could do anything in this world. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I
It's a
I with
partnership.
it. I with it. I with it. You know what I mean? 'Cause if I rich and she rich, we both rich. You know what I mean? I aiming for generational wealth. I could be just rich, but I want generational riches for like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
From everybody that come from beyond me. I want riches for everybody. So it's like this is where it's gonna come from. Unfortunately, because we don't have somebody that own that old plantation or own farm and they just have
Right.
billions and millions and they're gonna give it to us whenever they pass. Like we don't have that. So we make it somehow, somewhere without that pressure. So if 2 people doing it at the same time, man, hell yeah, sign me up.
Right. It's a partnership.
How
So
you
do
feel
you
about the topic?
as a black man in America, do you feel cheated?
As a black Caribbean man in America,
Mm-hmm.
do I feel cheated?
Like, do you feel
Hell
like do
yeah.
you feel like you have more opportunities here than back at home?
So I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like if I didn't join the military and came out the military with the knowledge I have, like
Mm-hmm.
I was living in America, you know? I was living in America before and I was trying to find jobs before in America and like it was kinda a struggle, you know, like you gotta get
Okay.
lucky in a sense. You gotta get kind of really lucky in a sense, you know?
Wow.
And I was in Florida.
Coming out of the military?
No, no, no. Before the military. Before the
Okay,
military, I was
okay.
living in Florida, and in a sense, you have to kind of be lucky to kind of like get a position you want, you know. And I think I was blessed and kind of lucky to get the things I did get when I was in Florida. But I had people that was with me that they weren't getting nothing, and I wasn't as
Mm-hmm.
qualified. I wasn't as qualified or more qualified than them. It was I don't know. I won't even say better resume. It was just luck. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like, if I didn't join the military, if I didn't have all this background and experience, and I didn't understand the world I in right now, I don't know where would I've been if I was living up here. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea what my degree would have gave me. I have no idea because
Okay.
the route I would have went, I would have get my degree, I would have moved to America, and I've been stuck. Because I know people are trying to do that right now. And in a sense, they're doing things that they don't want to do because they can't get what they want. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
And
And
that
then
was a
what
lot.
you said
Sorry.
it was a lot?
I'm sorry. I was
No, it's good.
rambling.
I want to hear your opinion on it. I said it's
Hmm.
interesting because you grew up in St. Croix though.
One time, saying fun, big up yourself. One time for the one thing you know what's going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. You grew up in St. Croix and you came to America. You are a
Hmm.
man and
Hmm.
you are black. And, like I say, the whole topic was, with the different opportunities and seeing if you felt like, you feel cheated or is it excuses or what type of background you come from too. Like, that plays a big part. Did you have your father in your life?
Yeah, I mean, it did for an extent. Like, he was,
Hmm.
I think he was always grinding, always working. So, like, I get to
Okay.
see that side, like never quit trying to figure it out, like,
Hmm.
like find a way. Like, that's kind of what I get for him. And that
Hmm.
kind of stick with me because I ain't gonna lie to you. If I ain't happy, I'm gonna quit. If I ain't happy with
Hmm.
a job, I'm gonna get the fuck on because I know I'm gonna find something else. Like, somehow,
Right.
somewhere, I'm gonna find something else. Like, when I was getting the military, I get my degree and I get my certification in the same month, right before I got the military. Like, I was nonstop school, nonstop studying for my certs, and I get it at the last minute, but I was really working hard so I could achieve that. So, like, and I
Okay.
know before I got the military, I know I would have got a job, and I had like
Right.
2, 3 job offers. You know where I coming from? So it's like stuff I learned from him is what kind of put me in this position to like never settle for bullshit. Because it's always you can always get something else. But
Okay.
I don't
And what
want to.
about your mother? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My mother is a motherfucking go getter. I know you watching, mommy, and I got set. Yo, she
Shout out to
was
mommy.
Pizza Hut don't exist in town anymore, you know what I mean? But she was in Pizza Hut working as a kid. And they was like, you
Okay.
can't have no kid in the bar in Pizza Hut. Like, what going on? Like, from my youth, my grandmother wasn't giving she no bread. My grandfather wasn't giving she no bread. And she was like, I gotta work and I gotta get this bread. So for the time I come
Mhm.
out the womb, my mother been working. So I always get to see that. And I know like
Mhm.
what you gotta do to take care of yourself. So it's like you gotta gauge yourself. So I
Mhm.
get that from her.
Right.
But what I want to bring up, because you highlighted some good points, is it unfair for the black men? And this is something about being in the military that kind of helped me see something different. You don't have to go Florida. You don't have to go Atlanta. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, you could go anywhere in America that is willing to accept you and willing to
Yeah.
give you a chance and a shot at what it is you want to do. So the reason I think America is a lot of opportunity is because you have a lot of options. I think
Okay.
what makes it hard is when people try to like, you know what? I want to go Miami. Let me tell you something. Miami is as expensive as DC,
Expensive
as
as fuck.
Maryland. A 2 bedroom apartment is gonna be about $2,800. Like, yeah, you know,
Mhm.
state tax, but you gonna pay a lot of money for some shit, and you gotta deal with
Mhm.
traffic. But at the end of the day,
Yep.
the jobs ain't paying that much either. But it's like if you want to be in Miami so bad, then you gotta find a way around it to make it work, right?
Mhm.
Because that same job that you have in Miami, for example, you work as a dental technician.
Mhm.
Okay,
A
you're a
dental
dental
lab
technician,
technician.
a lab technician, right? Cool.
Mhm.
That position isn't a standard paying position across the board. So if you want to say
Mhm.
you want to make $8,000 a month in that role, for example, but Miami don't
Mhm.
do it, you might be able to do that in a different state.
Yeah,
You get where
because
I coming from?
definitely with my job, you get paid more up north in North Florida than you do South Florida. But it just so happened because I have so much experience in the dental field,
It
I
work for
get
you.
paid more than your average. I'm on
Mm-hmm.
salary. I'm on salary. I'm a leader in my
Yeah,
position. I'm a manager. So but starting off, I will
yeah.
not. I always tell my classmates, do not stay in South Florida. Take your
But
ass
it's
up
like
north.
y'all will trap yourself in a box and be like, yo, it's hot out here. Nah,
Yeah.
you probably want to leave. If I really want to go Florida and Miami and stuff, I know I can't make the money now because of my credentials. Then I gonna work on my credentials somewhere else. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Survive, do what I gotta do, and then you know what
And
I'm
then
saying?
go.
Like
Yeah.
that's the part I feel like what makes it hard. People live in that box, the box itself in. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, you could take a couple years and go somewhere else and then come
Mm-hmm.
right back to what it is you want to do.
And look, let me spin off of that a little bit because it's going back to relationships. I'm sorry, but when you said like you go somewhere to where it makes sense to make the money that you want, and then you go into something that you want to do, you got to do what you have to do so you can do what you
You
want to
want to
do.
do. Talk
So
about it.
like what I tell people about, we was talking about the traditional households. I hate to hear the excuse from men when they say, oh, it's too expensive to take care of your family or to hold the household down. They want to go 50-50 with rent with a woman and stuff like that. It's too expensive, too expensive. No, like you just said, you have to stop trying to live out of your means. So you put you and your woman in a position of something that you can afford right now. So maybe it's like, baby, I can only afford the $1,600 rent right now until, you know what I'm saying? Let us get to where I need to, you get to
Talk
where you
about
need
it.
to, and then we can climb together and get something that we both want. So if you want the man, if you want a traditional household and you want the man to take care of the household, you got to let him take care of the household in a position financially or where he's able to, not in your unrealistic ass mind because you see what somebody else got. Now, if you do want something else, then baby girl, then you got to contribute. You got to go ahead and be like, "Babe, I want to be in that. So I'm gonna put the extra 2,000 towards this rent so we can stay in the $4,000 place because that's where I want to stay at. Or I'm gonna put the extra money to buy this house so we can buy this house instead of leaving it all on one person. Because that's when you dragging somebody in. It's not a partnership no more. So if
I
you want
agree.
those traditional values, you just do it within your means. So if the woman wants to stay home and the man wants to go home and get the bacon, then you just got to stay within your means to make it make sense. That's
You
all.
know, I ain't gonna lie, we ain't going to the hood though. I'll tell you that right now. Hey, it don't matter what we live in, it don't
And we
matter the
ain't going in the
circumstances, we ain't going to the
hood.
hood. We
No, we
not going
ain't
in the
going in the
hood, man.
hood
We
at
not going in the
all.
hood. But
But I had
I
asked you
agree.
about your mother though,
Mm-hmm.
because I also wanted to ask too. It's a lot of men who they look at women how they look at their mothers in relationships, and they say, "Well, my mother worked hard her whole life, so you need to do it too." A lot of men look at women like that.
Mm, I mean, I don't know. I don't look at women how I look at my mother, you know. Well, I get where you
Hmm.
coming from, but I feel like this is what I'll say. And this is the one takeaway that I would put on women that
Hmm.
oh with the shades. Hold on, let me get the shades. Let me get the shades. Sorry. Boom, let me get some shades, right? Boom, we here. My Juve shades. Irie. So this is what I get from my mother that I pride upon women, right?
Okay.
So for people that don't know, damn, I gonna start a sad story, man. What the fuck? For people that don't know, right? So my mother have lupus, right?
Okay.
My mother have lupus for real. Um, and she have to choose to live a lot. You know what I mean? Like lupus comes with a lot. It come out of stress, a lot of sadness, a
Yeah.
lot of shit, you know? And if she could find a way to smile and be happy in this world, like that's what that right there is what I probably put on people. It's like damn, like I watch her go through a lot, but at the same time I try and make it through, you know? So like if people come to me with petty problems, I'll be like, bro, like your shit ain't even that deep, dog. Like, you know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like, so that's the only thing that I could look at women and be like, yeah, my mother this way and you this way. Like, that's the only way. That's the only
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm saying? But like working really hard and stuff, I don't know, man. If I'm making the money, you know, if I ain't gonna lie to you, man, if I really making the money, the money you want to be with, I ain't gonna even cap. Cause you ain't gotta work for real. I ain't gonna
So
even
you
lie.
want your
Like,
woman to stay home and take care of the kids
if I
and,
ain't
and,
making
and
the
take care of the
bread,
home.
if I ain't making the bread, yo, you could stay home, man. I ain't give a fuck. Like, how was Netflix? Yo, I want to hear about it when I get back. Like,
How
text
is
me, send me a
Netflix?
cute pic when you're in the office, you know, like, show me you cuddle up or you comfortable. Cause, like, I feel like my mission is, like, to make people happy, right? And I feel like I could see you in your utmost happiness. If you want to grind and you
Yeah.
want to work, I'm gonna support that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if you want to
Hmm.
be at home and you want to do something else, go ahead. If you want to start a project that's like self funded or I funded or whatever the case is, like I'll support that too. Like if I get bread, like you ain't gotta work a day in your life if I get bread. I ain't gonna lie. That's just
You
how it
support
is.
your woman and whatever it is that she want to do. Because even being home, like being a stay at home mom, that shit in itself is a job.
Hell yeah.
That is a job. That's the
Hell
whole
yeah.
full-time job. Yeah.
And
So
I support that too. If you want to stay
big
home, I
ups to them.
support that. If you want to watch the kids, I still watch the kids. If we go, if I making bread and you don't want to work, hey, you don't gotta work. But it would be dope
Well,
if
you
both
gonna
of we
have
are
a
all
woman
grind
in your
together.
inbox. You
It's
gonna
not like I
have a
selling
woman in your
something, huh?
inbox.
Listen,
You
tell us
selling
something. I
yourself.
don't have no fucking money. So if I don't have money, it means I ask I come to work. I telling you right now, this ain't what I is. Like straight up, you feel me?
I'm like, what? You see what Rain said? You
I didn't
selling
know.
yourself.
Nah, that with the grand dudes different. Chris the same way. Fuck it, nah, Breezy the same exact way. If Breezy get bread, he want his woman looking at tall. I'm a poet and no, let me stop. Before this man cuss me out. Rain, what the fuck you saying the pod? Well, that's why I want to leave us alone the pod, man. So, last question that you have on this one. You put in 2026, should men be providers or should it be equal?
I'm asking you that. My camera. I'm asking you that.
The fellas, like, should we be providers? Like, should we be the providers or should it be equal?
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting question. I think this is what I think. I think you just need to do. You need to do what works. That's all I think. That's all I think because I feel like we provide for each other in different ways. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like women
absolutely.
need men or whoever they need, and men need women. So I feel like we gotta provide for each other in ways that make sense. I'm not gonna expect you to be the one to go and change your oil in your car. You know what I mean? Would I like you to know how to? I mean, that'd be sexy if I see you under the car with some oil on your body and I'd be like, well, mama doing her thing, man. I wanna know. Like,
I
you know what
changed
I'm
my oil
saying?
before.
Oh, you say talking about like, man, you in that class.
One of my exes showed me how to change the oil on the car, and I did it. I
You
was
know
like,
what? I think
okay.
women like what makes sense. And you shouldn't have to go to a place to spend $120 on oil change when you could buy the filter and do everything for $20. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I say. But yeah, I definitely think that is what work for you is a what work for you situation. Um, I feel like now that it's a society that we have now, and like we talk about the systematic terrorism that we talked about, they kind of put us in a position where they make us super strong. They make us superheroes. If I have a superhero next to me, why won't I want a superhero to go and do superheroes do? You know what I mean? Like if we both superheroes, then we go out and save the world, or we go and make some bread and do what we gotta do for each other. We just provide for the house together. I cool with that too. I
But you
don't really
got a
have.
lot of men who more so it's social media. Social media has messed so many things up, have made people have so many unrealistic values. You got so many men, as women would say, got so many niggas that act like bitches. But you know it's true. But that goes back to the beginning of the topic, is because a lot of men are primarily raised by women. They don't have men figures in their lives. They don't. A lot of men don't. They don't have men figures in their lives. They didn't see how a man is supposed to be a man in a household. They didn't see
Mhm,
how a man is supposed to control his emotions. They didn't see
mhm,
how a man is supposed to control his finances. They didn't see that. All they
mhm.
saw was their mother, their grandma, their aunt that raised them, and how she act on things emotionally,
Man,
impulsively.
my
You know what I
grandmother
mean?
crazy, and my
Like,
grandmother raised me. No, it making a little sense. My grandmother
yeah,
fucking crazy. So when I
yeah.
crash it out, now I kind of understand where it coming from. That's
Yeah.
kind of crazy, but
And it's not your fault. You know what I mean? It's not your fault, but that's what happened. That's when we talk about the beginning of the breakdown of the household. That's what happened. A lot of men were raised by women, and then those women couldn't. A woman can't raise a man, but women weren't able to really be in the house as much as they should because they gotta go work too. So then you was watched by your siblings watching you, all the cousins watching each other. Everybody piled up at grandma's house because all the
grandma
aunties and
house,
uncles and mama,
boy.
everybody at work. So everybody piled up at grandma's house and grandma watching her show. All the kids watching each other. You know what I
My
mean?
children
So
just playing on TV for real. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And then now, what is it? The iPads watching these kids. Now it's the iPads because most of the parents are more so into social media than they are into raising their own children. That's why so many children are so behind education wise in schools. You got so many high schoolers reading on a goddamn
Yeah,
third grade level for real.
yeah,
High
it's
schoolers
true.
that don't even know, you know what I'm saying? That don't even middle schoolers
It's
that's
true.
reading the elementary, high schoolers that's reading in middle school. Kids are so behind because everybody in tablets and phones. These 3-year olds got phones, 2-year olds got phones, watching YouTube, and the parents is watching Instagram and on TikTok and stuff.
No, you're not lying.
So that's
It's
our
true.
new breakdown. The new crack is social media and the internet. That's the new crack.
Renaya, if you're watching, I know you ain't supposed to be watching, but if you hear this somehow, some way, I telling you, you're taking that iPad this summer. It's gonna be books. We're gonna be deep in the books. You about to find a love for books. Nah, but
Listen,
my
I read
daughter
so
will read
many
for
books
sure.
as a child. That's all I
Hmm.
did was read books. I'm a bookworm now, but I read so many books as a child. And I'm not saying don't give your kids an iPad
Screen
or a phone
time. Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah, sometimes because they're gonna need to be advanced
Yeah.
in that. You know what I mean? That's their generation. So they're gonna need to know certain stuff. But you also need to control what your kids are watching and what they
Oh,
putting
for
on. It's certain
sure.
educational things that they
For
can be watching
sure.
instead of watching these stupid ass YouTube videos and shows. It's certain things
For
that they can
sure.
watch, but
Nah, I was
so
gonna say like we do have my daughter reading and stuff for sure because like that's very important. My daughter's smart, so we just trying to keep up with her
mhm.
smart so she could stay ahead of the game. Um, but that's true though. By saying token though, you bring up that that's the new system. That's crack. That's the new crack,
Yeah,
right?
that's a new
Like
crack.
it's so bigger than this. It's so bigger than just saying it's a new crack. It's so bigger than just saying like there's iPad kids. Like it's so bigger than that because the way the world design, the way the world going, they have to kind of be on this new crack,
Mm-hmm.
right? They have to because the technology gonna keep evolving. The world that when they turn 18 and they start going, well, if they even go college, if they even have to go college, when
Yeah.
they start to go to the real world, like the world gonna be so different, but it's gonna be catered around what they need to
Mm-hmm.
satisfy them because them
Mm-hmm.
becoming the new adults could mean that they gotta find a way to start making them start spending money. Right now, I think they say what drinking, buying liquor or whatever, like a all time low right now because these new age kids don't drink and shit like that.
No, they don't
Like
drink.
things
That's
are
good.
things that might be good, but for the bar business, that's probably not good, right?
Yeah.
So it's like things gonna start to shift in this society where you gonna start
Mhm.
seeing more. So in Asia, Korea, Japan, they have these like PC cafe, game cafes, right? Where you
Mhm.
walk into the room, they walk into a big computer lab basically, with hundreds of computers and people go and play video games in it, right?
Yeah.
That's a culture thing in Asia, right?
But look how they utilizing it and how we utilize it in America.
So what we're coming up with is that over there they have something because of how they is as a culture, right? From the adults to the kids, they are doing the same thing, so that probably never gonna change. We have a disconnect where the adults feel like, yeah, no screen time, right? But the system forcing all these kids to use the screen time. Because in school, you don't really have textbooks. You have computers and iPads
Yeah,
in
you got
school, right?
computers.
So when they get to a older age, a lot of things that we see now gonna be gone, and a lot of things that we put in place for the kids
Mhm.
that have these iPad brains or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if we say fuck it, we're gonna take it away and just cool talk to them and say no iPad or give them a little bit of iPad, they're gonna get left behind and they're gonna be now in a world where
Mm-mm.
everybody
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
ah,
No, don't. No, 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 no. I'm saying don't take it away and don't give them a little bit of time.
mhm,
I'm saying
use
utilize
it.
what they doing. If your kid is on an iPad all day, teach them coding. Let them look
There
at
you
stuff
go,
about coding. You
man.
know what
Now
I
we
mean?
fucking talking,
If they on
man.
TikTok and on whatever, make them a TikTok. Do you know how many of these little kids is making so much money off of these children TikTok pages? If my kid on TikTok, guess what? We making money off of this. You gotta just as your job. So between this time and this time, you making content. You know what I mean? If they on Snapchat or whatever it is, everything that they do, utilize it proper. It's educational things on there. You know what I mean? Like instead of just going on there and looking at NBA YoungBoy
Definitely not wrong.
videos,
Definitely
like
not be more videos. I feel
on there
like
looking at Sexy Red. You know, like
I feel
what?
like you could literally take anything that they like and make it educational. Like, oh, you like making
Yeah.
videos? Cool. No, you're a director.
Yeah,
Oh, you like how you
cryptocurrencies, get them in crypto, get them in producing, get them in, you know what I'm saying? Anything. You go
get
on
them in
there that
editing.
you could learn different languages, you know what I mean? All type of stuff. It's how we utilize it. We
So,
utilize it in such a dumb way.
so my daughter right now, you know what I mean? This is the time of the show. We're gonna talk about my daughter. So I'll sit down and just fucking listen, right? So like she'll use hers to draw and paint, right? And like that's one of the dopest thing ever because I was just thinking she was coloring this whole time until she walked up to me with her book and she showed me a picture of a fox that she draw. And I was like, you draw that? So I had to go and look and see how she do it. 'Cause I was like, did you like put it over the iPad and trace it? Like that shit was so clean and nasty. I was like, damn, like how the hell
Wow.
you do that? Like, but like it goes to show like all the screen time, cause she on YouTube watching tutorials on how to draw certain things.
See, she
So
utilizing it
you know what
in a
I'm saying?
perfect
So it's
way.
like
Yeah.
she already on YouTube University and she only 8. You know what I mean?
Love
So it's
that.
So
Shout
it's
out to
like,
her.
shout out to her, man. She gonna get some Robux for that. You know what I mean? You gotta give her some Robux for that. You know, but definitely that's like I agree though. Like we have to steer them in that direction, PBS kids and all these different things, and like help them grow into that future. But you're right, that is the new crack, and they definitely could fuck them at the end if they
Yeah.
ain't taking it serious because they a lot of schools right now changing, like they're not changing, they have changed it. They changed their grading scale to like make it a lot easier to pass classes
Mm-hmm.
because kids, like you said, can't read, kids can't do math, like they can't feel everybody, so we just gonna lower the score so they can
Yep.
keep passing, and they get to college and can't do shit. So it's
Yep.
like it's very interesting, man. Damn, that is crazy. The new
Yep.
crack.
The new crack.
Woo! Chloe, I ain't gonna lie.
Yep.
You. I thought this episode gonna be an hour and like 10. I was like, it's gonna be an hour and 10 episode. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't saying let's show you battle or anything, you know. But when the show hold on, we back, man. When the show leave, like we just turn off, like, yo,
Going.
this is a good ass episode, man. Shout out to everybody for pulling up to the episode again. Like I said earlier, we live every Wednesday, at 8 o'clock, and we have the episodes uploaded on YouTube and Facebook. Or you could listen to the episode on Friday on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, man. Before we go, Chloe, you do an amazing job. Is there anything you want
Thank
to tell the people that are watching
you.
in the chat? They
Thank
will
y'all
give
for
you so
tuning
much love.
in. Love y'all. Go follow me on social medias. My socials is Lucky Lachey. Lucky spelled regular, Lachey, Leshay. I definitely follow back. Show some love. Thank y'all for coming through and tuning in every Wednesday to see my beautiful face and hear my beautiful mind.
Yeah, she's a beautiful mind. She's a beautiful voice. She's a beautiful mind. You know what? I
My
come and have
beautiful
this fuck.
mind.
All right, man. Hey, we out, man. We
All
out. Give
right.
thanks
Good
again
night.
one
Good
time.
night. Out of here. We are.